Acum vreo 3 zile a apărut la Digi24 o știre. În fine, mass media, știi ce spun? Că, na, cam cu asta se ocupă. Am mai discutat eu despre canalele astea de știri, mass media, cum face CNA-ul, ce face CNA-ul, știi că ia salariul degeaba, în fine. Deci știrea asta de la Digi spune așa. Cei 3 directori din industria de armament au fost plasați în arest la domiciliu. Sute de mii de euro cash găsiți la unul dintre ei. Știi, cine a găsit și ghiși cine a găsit acești sute de mii de euro cash? DNA-ul, frate, DNA-ul. DNA a anunțat oficial că a reținut 3 directori din industria de armament din România, toți acuzați de luare de mită. Este vorba de Mihai Rafiu, Uzina Mecanică București, Tiberiu Alexandru Pârvu, director general la uzina mecanică Plopeni și Liliana Sorescu, director comercial la uzina mecanică Plopeni. Cei 3 urmează să afle în cursul zilei de vineri dacă vor fi arestați preventiv. Actualizare. Cei 3 directori au fost plasați în arest la domiciliu după ce Tribunalul București a refuzat propunerea DNA de a aresta preventiv. Mă înțelegi DNA-ul, frate, care am zis că a furat stația de betoane asta de la ieșire din Cristian spre Brașov, de pe dreapta, aia care avea betoniere portocalică. Acum nu prea mai vezi betonierele acolo, nu știu ce s-a întâmplat cu ele, le-au furat, le folosesc ăștia să-și construiască în continuare, ce căcat își construiesc în clanul lor mafiot. Și deci cu asta începe, după titlul articolului ăsta de la Digi, cu asta începe. DNA a anunțat oficial, am mai zis eu de DNA, cum mușamalizează cazurile și inscenează altora, cum l-a luat și pe ăla de la SRI cu nu știu cât timp, știi? Că de aia s-a schimbat, ziceam, adresa, nu mai este ANI SRI, este ANIMV, Asociația Națională de Informații Mihai Viteazu SRI, știi? Fiindcă ăștia de la tot DNA-ul l-a luat atunci pe ăla de la SRI, înțelegi? Și au făcut tot așa, i-au fabricat dosar, fiindcă ăștia i-au fabricat dosar ăstora din industria de armament. Știi de ce? Fiindcă poliția le-a cerut ăstora niște arme mai așa, știi? Mai serioase, să le spun. Și ăștia au refuzat categoric cererea poliției. În fine, printre poliția asta se numărau, îți dai seama, și DNA din ăsta, Parchet Național Anticorupție, Departament Național Anticorupție. Și după refuzul lor le-au fabricat dosarele. Așa, mai înțeles că, se înscenează și se fabrică dosare. Și după aia te-ai trezit, uite Digi24 și tu spui mâine în cap, wow, știi, corupție în... Da, nu spun. Unii din armată au niște, cum să spun, niște explicații de dat, mai ales după ce afli că dispar GPS-urile din elicoptere, știi? Și după aia trebuie să stea să cumpere alte GPS-uri să le monteze în elicoptere. Știi că ei nu sunt în stare, adică tu ca militar la unitate, când îți spune ăla, s-a trezit unul, eu sunt inginer militar, am venit să fac revizia tehnică la elicopter și scoate GPS-ul din elicopterul armatei, tu îl crezi pe cuvânt că că a fost trimis cineva în inspecție și n-are voie și vrei să te uiți la el să înveți și tu ceva pe acolo, ce vezi face la elicopter și spune că n-ai voie să te uiți. Și tu ești un soldat acolo, ești și tu pe la unitate, l-ai văzut pe ăla și nu te duce neapărat cap că se comportă la suspect, că nu te lasă să te uiți la ce face ăla elicopterului. Știi ce spun? Și nici nu poate uiți. Știi că umblă cu din alea să-ți distragă atenția și uiți să pui și tu întrebarea mai departe. Ai trimis cineva revizie tehnică la elicopterul armatei? În fine, deci cam asta e și cu povestea asta, cu cei 3 directori din industria de armament. Au refuzat cererea unor polițiști din ăștia corupți să le furnizeze arme, muniție, chestii de genul ăsta și le-au fabricat dosare. Și cam asta e situația. Uite, 500.000 de euro, cash, zice, la domiciliul lui Tiberiu Pârvu Alexandru. Sigur n-au fost plantați acolo? Știi? Că Digi e așa, puii mei. Vezi reportaje la 11 noaptea la Digi în care apar femei îmbrăcate în hijab, vorbesc ele nu știu ce limbă și le traduce în română, vai că purtând hijab din asta mă simt liberă, știi, alea s-o statici, clar, puii mei. Și ți apar știri din astea, cine știe pe ce pe alte canale au mai dat drumul. Tu nici nu te uiți la televizor, fiindcă știi că mass media este o buleală totală, știi că CNA-ul ia salariul degeaba, numai ca să permită dezinformări de genul ăsta. Și ajungi să te uiți uneori așa, informativ la astea. Și Na, în fine, mă opresc aici. So, in Romania, we had on a news channel called Digi24 a story regarding corruption in the military sector in Romania. Three directors from the ammunition department have been placed in house arrest, under house arrest. 1,000 euros cash were found in the residence of one of them. His name is Tiberiu Pârvu Alexandru. Alexander Pârvu Tiberiu. Um, the other two are Liliana Sorescu and Mihai Rafiu. Mihai Rafiu is a general director at the mechanic factory in Bucharest. Alexander Pârvu is a general director in the mechanical factory in Plopeni, and Liliana Sorescu is a commercial director in the mechanical factory in Plopeni. And the guess who announced officially that these three directors have been retained? The National Department for Anti-Corruption, the guys that I told they are covering up criminal cases, stealing businesses in order to fund their mafia clan. You know, they just recently, like not recently, in the past 2 years, one of among the businesses they stole, one of them is a cement station at the exit of Cristian locality going towards Brasov city on the right. You know, um, the cement station used to have like these cement mixing trucks so that were painted orange. Now, out of all those trucks, I don't know if you see like one or two over there anymore because they probably stole the rest and they're probably using them to build in expanding their mafia empire. So yeah, and the same National Department for Anti-Corruption that stole these kinds of businesses and they keep covering up criminal cases um, have announced these three directors from the ammunition military department uh, being arrested, and they proposed them to be arrested preventively, like being taken into custody for I think 30 or 80 days. I'm not sure what period of time that involves, but the courthouse in Bucharest refused that proposal, and now they're under house arrest. You know, and 50,000 euros, 100,000 euros is half a million euros. You know, I don't know if this is like a round amount. Uh, you know, maybe they made an estimate. Maybe this is not the exact amount they found in this guy's house. As I said, I don't know if he actually had this amount in his house. Maybe he did. Being a director of in the military sector, although you know this is what I wanted to add. Um, 50 100,000 half a million euros. You know who trusts banks? Tell me this, who trusts banks nowadays with all these cyber attacks that actually happened in Romania recently, and they blamed Russian hackers when I actually said it's a hacking cartel. I don't have a bank account. I don't have Bitcoin. You know, I use cash when I do, or I ask my parents to pay, and sometimes they pay with their card. You know, um, since yeah, I don't get like the handicap aid is kept by them. They're handling my money because yeah, for God knows what reason. So yeah, either way, if they didn't, I wouldn't really trust banks. You know, sometimes you have to, because if you get a job, the legislation in Romania forces the companies to give you the salary via bank transfer, and you're obligated to have a bank account if you're hired in Romania, you know, for this purpose. So in that case, if I wouldn't have been declared unable to work by some retarded so-called like people impersonating medics and other corrupt officials, um, no, I would probably still have a job. Maybe I'd have a bank account, but I don't. And but who knows? As even as a cab driver, because this was one of my last jobs, I used to take cash. I'd like the cab I was driving didn't have those POS terminals that you can use to pay with a card. Um, so not even then I didn't use a bank account because I didn't feel the need. And as I said, I don't trust banks because they're bad. You wake up with certain fees for account administration when the account is supposed to be free when you open it, and they're telling you no, there's no gimmicks, no hidden fees. And then after half a year you wake up that you're in debt to the bank because they started adding administrative taxes to your account monthly. And yeah, so this is one of the reasons why I would keep cash and not necessarily on me. Maybe I would have it in my residence. If in the same way these guys say they found 50, 100,000, half a million euros cash in this guy's house. How do they know this guy's so they said his function was a general director at the mechanical factory in Plopin. As a general director, raising this amount, who knows? I don't know how old this guy is, but he probably has like gray hair. Let's check. Maybe we can find out his age. Uh, mhm. There's no information. I don't know. The context also mentions Constantine Pârvulescu. So this Constantine guy, has a similar surname. He was placed under house arrest in between 1979 and 1980, but he's a different person. Yeah, but I don't know if he musicologist. Yeah, so they're like in different industries, and I don't know how old this guy that had the half a million euros is. But as a general director in the military sector, I don't think it's impossible to raise to have stashed somewhere half a million euros in Romania. To be honest, depending on I actually don't think it's impossible. I wouldn't be surprised, especially taken into consideration his function as a military sector general director at in the ammunition industry. And even if it's not his, that's the thing. Maybe it's his, maybe it's not. If it's his, why are they using it as a pretext? Because it's not like he's a corrupt politician that created a budgetary deficit of billions of euros for the Romanian government, like Marcel Ciolacu, for example. It's not that guy. They're taking this guy with half a million euros that might have been planted over there. And even if it's his, to be honest, in my opinion, it's not a big amount, for a general director in the ammunition department that refused to supply police with, because this is one of the reasons these three got arrested, because they refused to supply certain corrupt police officers, if they actually were police officers, and they were impersonating police officers, and they blackmailed these three into giving them more serious guns and ammunition, and they refused categorically, and these police officers fabricated the arrest files for these three. And now, yeah, we'll see where this goes. Thing is, this story was on the DG24 news channel. This is mainstream media. I'm not actually what I was just passing by, and the TV happened to be opened by my parents. And this story came up. So yeah. Um, this TV this news channel also advertised the puked up gypsies in Germany at some point. Like they were showing women in hijab praising Islam, but doing it in a way that was obvious. They obviously knew they were filmed, and if they said the wrong thing about Islam, they would probably get either a beating or get killed. And they were talking a lot of shit like, "Oh, to wearing the hijab makes me feel liberated and free," like having only your eyes visible. So yeah, this news channel, and especially when I saw all those reporters gathering around that dude with their microphones. Um, who's got a press permit nowadays in order to when they get these stories, because as I said, this story came starts with the article starts with the National Department of Anti-Corruption announced, and how did the all those reporters gather so fast when that guy was taken into custody, because they reacted. It's almost as if this National Department for Anti-Corruption called the press and told them, "Come on, we got work to do." As in, we got to place these guys in a bad light. So when we continue framing them for shit they didn't do, we also have the mass media on our side, so we can go to court with these fake news stories with these fabricated police files and fabricated news stories in order to accuse them further of shit they didn't do. Because they didn't provide probably personnel from the National Department of Anti-Corruption with the guns and ammunition they were requesting. You know, yeah, National Department of Anti-Corruption is actually corruption itself. But I've said this before. I'm gonna say it again. They're covering up cases. You stay blessed. Stay vigilant. Hallelujah.